You're too much of a bitch of being able to work without constant stimulation. That is why you listen to music while studying. It's not because you were able to learn things faster or there's a lot of distraction in your surrounding. No, it's not because any of those reasons. It's because you lack that discipline of being able to work without receiving constant stimulation from your favorite music. Or you have just convinced yourself that listening to music will help me to get better grades. And I have been in that state I've been in that stage where I just coped myself into believing that listening to music is good for me and it helps me to study better and all that. And I still remember the very first time when I started this habit. I was preparing for my history exam. I was in my sixth grade. And as I was preparing, I felt that if I listen to music while studying, I'll be able to learn things faster and I'll be able to get the highest marks in the history test this time. So that's what I did. I started listening to The Old Town Road and Circa by Nick Jonas. And I'm very sure a few hundred of my dopamine receptors died because of how many times I listened to those two songs on loop. But when I actually gave the test, my marks decreased. And and if you're studying in India, if you're struggling in subjects like history or geography, it means that you're well and truly fucked because these two are the most scoring subjects, and only the bottom tier students struggle in subjects like these. So, even after seeing that my marks actually decreased after listening to music, I still felt that no, if I continue to do this habit, I will eventually start getting better marks. I'm pretty sure that's what you do with this habit. So, I was only able to leave this habit over a year ago, where a high performer of our coaching center, he advised me specifically that if I don't listen to music, I will get better grades. So I knew that the person in front of me, he has achieved something that I want to achieve. He's achieved something that many people will never even achieve in their entire lives. So for the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'm going to be honest, I didn't implement that, and my mind was making excuses like, no, he's lying. I'm able to study. I will get better marks with it, with listening to music anyway. But I I always return to that baseline of getting low and average mediocre marks, which I didn't want. So one day I just decided that if I really do want to continue the stream which I've taken, then I need to first of all stop listening to music. So initially, for the first 2 weeks, I had to decrease my study hours by a bit, and that feeling of restlessness was there, but that only lasted for a few days. And after that, I returned to that stage of getting the marks that I want to. I returned to the previous hours that I was studying, and I actually started to get better marks. This is the main part. I actually started to get the marks that I want to. I was scoring out of marks every single test. So I'm pretty sure your mind has already made up many excuses like my mind did about listening to music while studying. Because it might be making excuses like, no, I'm able to study better with listening to music, or his English doesn't even sound native, so I should even bother listening to him. Tell that part of your brain to shut the fuck up. Bitch, slap that part of your brain. Because for how many times have you listened to your brain? Your brain has convinced you to watch porn for like 10,000 hours now. It has convinced you to waste 10,000 hours of your life playing video games, where you could have developed a skill that would help you that would help you to become financially free, to get the highest marks in the test. Because frankly, I do not need constant stimulation while studying, unlike you, to be able to just sit to study. How do you expect to compete against the guy in your class who gets the highest marks every test? He doesn't need dopamine release every 5 seconds, unlike you, to be able to just sit to study. You know what? Fine. Continue to succumb listening to this desire of listening to music while studying. And continue doing this habit of listening to music for another year now. And think of me again, where your marks have remained the same. Fail better.